Yo, what if I told you that every single death in the Final Destination franchise happened because one woman saw the future and tried to play hero? What if every brutal, insane kill across 5 movies was connected to a single disaster that never even happened? Buckle up, because this movie is about to flip everything you thought you knew about death itself. Here's where things go sideways. We're thrown back to 1968, where a dude named Paul just built the Skyview restaurant, literally the tallest rotating restaurant in existence at 494 feet. This place is peak luxury, glass floors so you can see straight down to your death, live kitchen in the centre, the whole 9 yards. Paul brings his girlfriend Iris here for the grand opening, completely hyped to show off. Iris is excited, but low-key nervous. I mean, who wouldn't be at that height? They head inside and there's this kid running around the fountain outside, tossing coins in. A guard warns him it's bad luck, but does the kid listen? Nah. Inside the restaurant, everything's popping. Music's blaring, champagne's flowing, people are dancing on this glass floor like they're invincible. Paul's trying to get their reservation sorted, but the receptionist messes it up. Meanwhile, Iris is feeling weird, nauseous, dizzy, something's off. Then, a singer performing at the restaurant notices Iris looking sick and asks if she's pregnant. Turns out she is, 2 months along, and she hasn't even told Paul yet. That's why she's been feeling strange. Paul takes Iris outside to the open terrace and drops to one knee. He proposes, she says yes, and then hits him with the pregnancy news. Instead of freaking out, this dude is over the moon. He puts a ring on her finger. It's a little tight, but she says it's perfect. But here's where it hits different. That coin the kid was throwing? It gets sucked into an air vent, jams up a fan. The champagne cork from earlier cracked a piece of the chandelier, which fell and cracked the glass floor. The building joints are already stressed because, get this, the restaurant was finished 5 months early. Corner cutting at its finest. Iris starts getting this feeling, not just anxiety, she's seeing flashes of what's about to go down. She backs away from the glass section just as everything goes to hell. The floor shatters. People drop 494 feet straight down, screaming. Paul tries to hold on but falls to his death right in front of Iris. The building starts bending from the joints breaking. That coin pops out, hits a gas pipe, and now there's a fire spreading everywhere. The singer tries to save her son, stuffing him in a box before flames consume her. More people rush to the elevator, too much weight, it snaps, crushing everyone inside. Others try the stairs, but those collapse too. The piano that was holding up one section shifts because of that cursed coin, and more people plummet. That kid who was throwing coins, the piano falls on him. The coin rolls right back into the fountain. Poetic, right? In the chaos, only Iris survives. She finds the singer's son and tries to save him, but they both slip. Her ring, the one Paul just gave her, gets caught on a metal rod. Her skin tears off with it and they both fall to their deaths. Except they don't. Not yet. The twist! It never happened. Cut to present day and we're hit with the real shocker. None of that actually happened. We see Stefani, Iris's granddaughter, waking up screaming in class. She's been having these horrific visions of the Skyview disaster for weeks. Her roommate tells her she needs to talk to her family about this. Stefani goes home, hangs with her dad and her brother Charlie. They're tight, good vibes between them. Then they head to their Uncle Howard's place, and Stefani asks about her grandmother Iris. Uncle Howard loses it. He says Iris went insane, locked herself away on some remote island, and that her paranoia destroyed their family. Stefani's mom left when she was a kid because of all this trauma. Howard refuses to talk about it, but Stefani's aunt helps her out. She gives her old letters from Iris, her address, and that photo, the one of Iris and Paul at the Skyview restaurant. Stefani freezes. This is the exact image from her visions. Iris, the truth comes out. Stefani tracks down Iris on this isolated island. The house is falling apart, security cameras everywhere. Iris is paranoid but excited to see her granddaughter. Stefani tells her about the visions, and Iris drops the bombshell. Those visions you're having? I had them too. That disaster you saw never happened because I stopped it. Here's the crazy part. That day in 1968, Iris had a premonition of the entire disaster. She saw the floor collapse, saw people die, saw Paul fall, so she grabbed a microphone and warned everyone to get out. Most people evacuated, and the restaurant collapsed minutes later with way fewer casualties. But death doesn't like being cheated. Iris explains that death started hunting down everyone who survived that day. One by one, they died in increasingly brutal ways. Not just them, their kids, their grandkids, anyone who wouldn't have existed if they died that day. Paul got cancer. Others died in freak accidents. Iris figured out the pattern and isolated herself to protect her family. As long as she stayed alive and hidden, death couldn't move down the bloodline. But now death is coming for you, Iris says, because I'm next. Stefani thinks this is all nonsense. She's about to leave when Iris hands her a book. Decades of research on how death operates, how to cheat it, how to survive. Stefani refuses the book and walks out, and Iris, who hasn't left that cabin in years, steps outside to prove her point. Watch, she says. A gas leak, a spark, a chain reaction. Something swings around and impales Iris from behind. She dies right there. Stefani realizes her grandmother wasn't crazy. Death is real, and it's coming. The bloodline curse. 2 days later, Iris's funeral happens. Stefani's mom, Darlin, shows up. First time Stefani's seen her in years. Stefani starts piecing it together. Iris was first. Now her oldest child, Uncle Howard, is next. Then his kids, then Darlin, then Stefani and Charlie. She tries to warn everyone, but they think she's losing it just like Iris did. Even Howard's kids are pissed, saying she's disrespecting their grandma's memory. Only Darlin believes her. But Stefani's still mad at her mom for abandoning her as a kid. Death number 1. Uncle Howard. That night, the family's having a party at Howard's place. Everything seems normal. Drinks, music, laughter. But death is already setting up the dominoes. A glass breaks. A shard falls into the ice bucket. Someone scoops ice into a drink. The glass shard goes into Howard's drink. He puts it down and walks away. Other objects shift slightly, like they're being moved by invisible hands. A water pump turns on, tools start falling. The glass shard ends up on the ground. Howard steps on it, slips and falls. The vibration knocks a tool onto a lawnmower, which roars to life. It rolls straight into Howard's face, shredding it. Everyone's horrified. Stefani tries to explain the curse, but most people still don't believe her. Except her cousins. They're starting to get it now. Death! Number 2 and number 3. The siblings. Stefani realizes Howard's oldest child is next. His son, Eric. She finds him at his tattoo parlor the next morning. The place is burned, but Eric survived with just minor injuries. Eric doesn't believe Stefani's warnings. Neither does his sister Julia. They think it's all coincidence. They're standing on the street and Stefani's watching everything. Cars, trucks, anything that could kill them. A garbage truck passes. Eric hugs it to prove nothing will happen. Then Julia gets hit by a ball, stumbles into a trash bin, and the truck's compactor activates. Her body is crushed inside while they watch helplessly. Only her hand remains. Everyone's devastated. Stanley's brother Charlie finally believes her, but something's wrong with the pattern. Howard's wife reveals the truth. Eric isn't actually Howard's biological son. Julia was the oldest. That's why she died instead. Now Eric's younger brother, Bobby, is next. The book and the plan. Stefani dives into Iris's book. Inside, she finds that cursed coin and detailed records of every death connected to the Skyview survivors, including the deaths from all the previous Final Destination movies. Everything connects back to 1968. Every single franchise death happened because Iris saved those people. The book mentions someone named JB who survived and figured out how to cheat death. Stefani decides they need to find him. Death! And 5! The brothers. They track JB to a hospital. When they call his name, he's shocked. Only Iris ever called him that. JB reveals he was the singer's son, the kid Iris tried to save. He and Iris spent years researching death together. Both got cancer from the stress. JB explains there are only 2 ways to cheat death. 1, kill someone else and take their life force. 2, die and come back. If you're clinically dead and then resuscitated, death thinks it claimed you and moves on. And one girl did this before and survived. But JB's dying from cancer now. He says they all have to die eventually. It's the final destination. He leaves. Bobby's terrified. Eric comes up with a plan. Bobby has a peanut allergy. They'll make him eat peanuts, let him go into shock, then revive him with an EpiPen. Death will think it claimed him. They get peanut cookies from a vending machine, but it jams. Eric punches it, cracking the glass. He tilts it and a spring pops loose. They head into an MRI room. Bobby eats the cookie, but someone accidentally activated the machine earlier when the door slammed. The magnetic field intensifies. Eric has piercings all over his body. The wheelchair behind him is metal. Both get pulled into the MRI and Eric is crushed to death. Bobby injects himself with the EpiPen, thinking he's safe. But that spring shoots out of the vending machine, bounces off walls, and impales him through the skull. Death claimed them both. Death number 6. Darlin Stefani tells her mom to hide at Iris's cabin, the place where Iris survived for decades. Darlin agrees. Stefani and Charlie drive her there in their RV, but when they arrive, there's already a gas leak and electrical sparking. Stefani's seatbelt jams. She tells Darlin to go inside while she and Charlie stay outside. A pin falls, igniting the gas. The cabin explodes. The blast throws the RV into the water with Stefani trapped inside. She starts drowning. Darlin is burned alive in the explosion. Outside, a tower falls toward Charlie. Darlin pushes him out of the way and gets crushed instead. Charlie dives into the water and pulls Stefani out. She's not breathing. He gives her CPR and she gasps back to life. They think they've broken the cycle. Stefani died and came back just like JB said. The false victory. Time passes. Things return to normal. Charlie's graduation day arrives. Stefani's getting ready, pinning a rose to his jacket. The thorn pricks her finger. Blood wells up, just like it did for Iris in the vision. Stefani realizes the cycle isn't over. That coin Iris saved? An old woman found it earlier. Now it slips from her purse and lands on a train track, the same track shown at the beginning. Charlie's friend, a doctor, stops by. He tells Stefani something chilling. You weren't dead, you were unconscious. To be dead, you need to stop breathing for 5 minutes. You only stopped for 2. Stefani and Charlie realise they never actually cheated death. They start seeing omens everywhere. Then they hear it, the train derailing. It's heading straight for them because of that coin jamming the track. They run, but it's too late. Wooden logs fly off the train and impale them both. They die together. Death always wins. The movie ends with newspaper clippings showing more deaths. The other surviving families are still being hunted. The curse continues. No one escapes. No one ever will. Because you can't cheat death forever. It's the final destination for all of us. Final verdict. Honestly, this movie hits different than the rest of the franchise. It's not just about creative kills, it actually explains why everything happened. This is the origin story we never knew we needed. What works? The Skyview opening is insane. Easily one of the best disaster sequences in the series. Connecting all 5 previous movies through one bloodline curse is genius. The kills are brutal and inventive as always. Stefani's character is solid. You actually care about her survival. JB's return is pure fan service, and it works. What doesn't? Some of the death setups feel overly complicated, even for Final Destination standards. The family drama drags in a few spots. If you haven't seen the other movies, some references will fly over your head. Who should watch this? If you're into horror franchises, this is a must-watch. It respects the legacy while telling its own story. If you love brutal death scenes with insane Rube Goldberg setups, you'll eat this up. And if you've been following Final Destination since 2000, this one ties everything together in a way that'll blow your mind. Final rating 7.5/10. It's not perfect, but it's easily the best Final Destination sequel we've gotten in years. The mythology is finally expanded, the kills are creative, and that ending? Brutal. No happy endings here, just death doing what it does best. Stay safe out there, and maybe avoid tall buildings, trains, and vending machines for a while. Thanks for watching. Peace.